Hey y'all, this is Tiara. I was sitting here about to organize my seeds just because it's just a hot cluttered mess right now. And I have these sleeves that I plan to put all my seed packets into just to help myself be a little bit more organized this go around. We're doing things a lot different this year. We're gonna be smarter. We're gonna work smarter, not harder. But I felt like this was a good opportunity for me to just, I guess, formally introduce myself because I just um, decided to start documenting my process from where I was. But I am Tiara. This is my second year at gardening, backyard gardening. I have raised beds, in ground or above ground beds, and bags and pots that I am currently growing out of, and I plan to resume that for this coming growing season. I do plan to incorporate more of the above ground raised beds and bags, lots of bags, just to make it easy for me to transport because I always change my mind a lot and decide to just shift things around outside a bit. So bags are just way easier. But about me. Again, this is my second year gardening. I've always had a love for gardening with like my flowers and such that are out in my front yard, but recently really got into loving planting just herbs and veggies and fruits and such. The process actually very stress relieving. By day, I am a full-time entrepreneur, 9 years now. I have a few businesses under my belt, and if any of you are entrepreneurs like myself, you guys already know that it comes with a lot. There are a lot of ups and downs. It's a whole roller coaster. I always attribute, my thought process of a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster day to day. No 2 days are alike in any of my businesses. I have a daycare, salon suites, and nonprofit. It's a lot, and it can be overwhelming. Outside of that, I am a full-time mom as well. So when you clock out of those jobs and, end work for the day, the work never really ends because you come home, there's more work. Wife duties, mom duties, everything. So gardening just became a therapeutic outlet for me. I tend to like moments of peace and quiet and stillness. If you deal with kids and you work with kids on a regular basis, you would understand that completely as well. But it also is freeing for me. Gardening for me gets me out of the day-to-day life, adulting. And with everything that's going on now, since, for instance, Trump being in office and everything that he's just spewing randomly, it's stressful. It's to the point where with social media, I don't even want to get on if I don't have to. And I do get on, of course, again, I'm an entrepreneur, so I have to market my businesses and such. But I also like to get on here and share just what I'm doing gardening wise. Because there are a lot of you that would always message me and say, oh, you inspired me, or this helped me, or you inspired me to start a garden, or let me try my hand. So I do like that, but it is now to the point where I do not enjoy getting on social media to scroll or read the stories. It used to be, for me anyway, it used to be something fun for me to do, to just go online. My friends and myself, we always sharing different videos or memes just to laugh. So I used to use it as an escape from day to day to just laugh, have fun. How in the world? But yeah, it's recently just become so heavy with the plane crashes and such. And again, with all those changes with the current administration, I opt out. I'd rather get online now, post what I have to post, get off. I don't even want to scroll anymore. Trying to figure out how to open this sleeve because this is my first time using these. So I was hoping this would be very simple. But yeah, so I don't even enjoy social media anymore. I don't watch TV as far as the news to keep up with the current. It's all just very overwhelming. So I just try to get on here, look at a few gardening and plant videos, and laugh with my friends on the funny stuff. So right now I am organizing the seeds. I think I'm just gonna group them by what they are. So for instance, this whole page here is my page of onions, and I'm sure I'm leaving some out, but I'll go back and re-add those later. We are able to add front and back to them. So for instance, let me turn this around. So this was the front side, and then this will be the back side. And I have a whole binder full. I don't know how many seeds I have. I don't even remember half of what I have. As I was talking to my daughter last night, she was asking me something about, I want to say lavender, or she mentioned lavender, and I was like, oh, we have lavender. Never grew it, so I will try my hand this go around. I want to make a nice tea with that lavender, chamomile. But yeah, trying to get a little organized. This year I am really looking forward to being outdoors and starting my seeds and such. I did, and I shared it with you guys, I did start seeds already, but I do need to add more. Lately this winter, January for one, has not been a typical January, but winter has not been feeling like winter. We did have a few snow days, which I don't even want to talk about, but we've had a lot of days this week in particular that just felt like spring. And I'm talking like 60, 70 degree weather. And I wanted to just, I'd rather have not been at work or adulting. And I really wanted to just get outside and just get in the dirt. And so just looking at how my current seeds and such are growing, and how the weather is, I'm gonna follow, I'll go by the Gardener's Almanac, but my last frost date, I am at zone 7B in Virginia, and the last time I checked, our last frost date is April 5th, but the weather is not doing what I thought it would do. So I feel like we may be able to bring them out a little bit sooner. We shall see. But either way, I'm just gonna be prepared. I am following the instructions on the back of my packets, but also I get a lot of tips and ideas and such from watching a lot of other gardeners online. TikTok, I'm just newly getting into TikTok actually, right when they were banning it, I guess. But I am new to TikTok. I am new to YouTube. But I do enjoy watching a lot of the other gardeners share their suggestions and their tips and just what they're doing in their garden. It definitely helps me. So I did want to just share what I've been doing and document this process, because I did document last year's process, but I didn't do anything with the videos. I kept them in my phone and such, and I posted here and there, but nowhere near as much as I could be posting. Okay, this is confusing. So let's just do this. So yeah, I will say content creation is something that I definitely need to learn, and in order to, ooh, I don't like that. Some of my seeds spilled out, and I have 2 packets and one for front and back, and I don't want them to mix. I didn't even realize I was open because both of them are closed. I never used them. So yeah, that will be interesting. I may not need to do front and back for that reason. Let me just do this. But I felt like just, I guess, showing you guys what I've done But it also helps me to record and document my process so that I know what to do different for the next year, so forth and so on. It helps y'all, but it also helps me. I am looking forward to just seeing myself pretty much double what I did last year. Last year, I really did not expect for it to do what it has done. We did yield a lot of veggies, cucumbers, tomatoes, okra, which I said I wasn't going to grow okra this year because apparently I'm the only person in my house that likes okra, and outside of my brother, the only person in my family that likes okra. But so we did end up giving a lot away and to like our neighbor. But when I pulled those up, they were just like, good, don't bring them back. But I may still grow a couple just for other people. I am looking forward to trying to grow newer herbs that I never grew last year. Some of the same that I'm mainly trying to only grow what we are actually going to use and eat. And so with that, I want to regrow a lot of what we grew last year. I will incorporate some things that will be my first time growing. And just try my hand at a lot of different stuff. You don't know what you can do until you try it. You don't know what you don't know. So yeah, I do have lots of flower seeds this go around because I do want to, for one, they make the yard pretty, but for two, it helps with my veggies that need the pollinators, such as like your squash, your zucchini, the cucumbers, the tomatoes. I want to attract more pollinators this year. I feel like we had some, just not a whole lot, but I feel like putting those particular flowers out would help the yard look pretty, but also bring on more pollinators to help out their growth. Because I did do some hand pollination with Q-tips on my cucumbers when I just noticed we were not getting a lot of bees. That's really it was the cucumbers and squash and zucchini that I had to help out a bit and manually do it. Now I will tell you what I'm not looking forward to this year is the bugs. I understand we have some friends and some foes, but to me, I can do without them. Like we had a lot of cabbage worms. We had Japanese beetles. They tore our elderberry bush up, as well as some of the leaves on my peppers. Oh, and my broccoli. All my brassicas, the cabbage worms, and I'll share footage or pictures of what they did last year. But to my cabbage, my kale, like literally everything was getting eaten, and I was tossing them out of the garden, but they kept coming back. So this year I do plan on using like the gardening mesh to cover a lot. Neem oil, that definitely helped. DE definitely helped. It was just so messy. But another bug that I'm not a fan of were spiders. Early in spring, my issue was the cabbage worms and then like the moths, because they were laying eggs and leaving eggs everywhere. But toward the end of summer, we had lots of spiders that just came out. So every day I was walking out with a broom, just swatting, trying to get whatever spider web that was going to be in my path from like the back door to the different areas throughout the yard, because I do have like the hanging lights, because I'm an outdoor girl. I love being outside, have some music, glass of wine, sitting in the garden and just listening to nature. That is relaxation for me, and I love it. But I'm not a fan of the spiders coming out of nowhere. You just sitting there and little itty bitty come down. No, I understand they help. So a lot of times I was leaving some of the webs up because it was helping me with capturing a lot of the bugs that I just didn't need in my way. But I'm not a fan of certain bugs. I'm not a fan of animals. So where I am, well, my yard is completely fenced. But where we are, we have lots of rabbit. We did have a few intruders last spring when I caught them on many a days. The baby bunnies as well as the parents. We also get deer. I have never had it in my backyard, thank God. But we do get deer and field mice. And snakes. So right around the mating season for us is like that March, early April time frame. Right as spring is springing in, I do put a lot of things out in the yard to help keep them away. Snake away, mothballs. I know some people say don't use mothballs, but I'm not dealing with them. And then I did buy some things to keep deer away, keep rabbits away, gophers and moles. Even though I haven't really seen many of the holes for those, but I'm just trying to get rid of everything. And it worked because we didn't have any rodent problems outside of the bunny rabbits that still were coming around. But as far as the other animals, I didn't see a single one all year, thank God. So I plan to follow suit and do that again. I am looking forward to growing carrots because I grew some carrots last time and they came out pretty dope. I'm looking forward to cucumbers. Cucumbers went literally clean up until fall for us. They did really, really, really well. Squash, I was able to grow squash a couple times, but I think we had some squash bugs like within the soil or stems, because they just ended up not doing so well. Now, granted, one of them I did accidentally break the stem off of, and I tried to put it back in the dirt to help it regrow or to see if it would regrow some more, but fail, epic fail. Zucchini, I was able to grow only a couple because, again, I feel like they both had, the zucchini bag and the squash bag both had an infestation of some sort. I didn't like visually see it, nor did I pull out the stems to see, you know, exactly what was in there, but I just knew. I know, because they just did not do well. And every time they would grow or start to grow, they literally would start rotting. Like shrivel up real small and wouldn't last. And I thought maybe due to lack of pollination and such, but I was hand pollinating, so I don't know. But I want to try it again because I feel like it defeated me. I feel like I didn't do good, so I gotta redeem myself and try my hand again with those. Actually, let's do that. What else am I looking forward to growing? Peppers did very well. Oh, this is my first time trying string beans, so I will try the beans this year. This is a bush. Yes, this one is going to be in a bush form. I will also try my hand at watermelon. This is a sugar baby watermelon. And collard greens. So I love, 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 love collard greens. So my cabbage did very well. I do not remember what type of cabbage we had. I did cheat. I bought seedlings from a nursery. So they were very little when we first got them. And I put them in the bed around that April time frame. But I started collards and I started cabbage. And you can see, I don't know if it's gonna focus. This is my setup right now, and I do have some things going already. But I do have collards and I have cabbage started already, which I am adding at least 2 more of the larger garden beds out back. because I do want to have like lots of rows of cabbage and collards this year. But they did very, very well last year. I did experience a lot of cabbage worms. So I do plan on covering them after watering and such this go around, because once I was able to sift through, really get in there clean, I lost, out of 6 cabbage heads, I lost 1. It was just, the infestation was so bad. I was so disgusted, and I just cut it off and threw it away. But the rest of it, I was able to get the worms out, as well as clean them up really good. So I was able to harvest about 5 heads last season. I do want to do cabbage again. There's a nursery here that I love. The husband became friends, well, I shouldn't even say friends, but he made buddy with the owner there, and I forget the name right now, but once I visit again, I'll get the name again. But he gave us a lot of game on our compost mixture, soil mixture, and the additives, such as like the cow manure and what was it, worm castings. So I do plan on like going back again this year to get more soil. We ordered our compost from one of those companies that will come and like dump it in your, like for instance, they dumped ours in our driveway, and we ordered way too much. It literally was like a mountain sitting in our driveway, to the point where we had to take the wheelbarrow and shovel everything into 30-gallon trash cans. We drilled holes into the trash cans, because you still want them to be able to breathe, but we drilled holes into the trash cans, wheeled everything into the trash barrels, and it was about 7 or 8 30-gallon trash barrels filled that was left over after us giving some away to family, giving some away to friends, and filling all the bags and the raised beds outside with them. Still had 7. So I keep finding zucchini and squash everywhere. How many did I have? So I do plan to utilize all of that up before I buy more. But the items that would help us with fertilizing the composting soil, I do want to get more of that stuff, because we did run out. The mix that I've been using to start my seeds is a little bit different from what we put out in the yard, but this just helps them get going. It's basically perlite. Let me show you. This is what I use to start, because it already has peat moss, the coconut coir, and vermiculite, but then I also add some perlite to it, and then just mix them up. I am planning to I would like to go out this weekend and amend all the bags and beds, because I do want to I want to add alfalfa pellets to that as well, but I want to go ahead and start doing the prep work now, so that come spring, all I got to do is literally just put everything out there and then start watering and such. I don't want to have to worry about cleaning out the old stuff, amending the soil, and then doing it. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna get burnt out. And the goal of this is not for me to feel burnt out. This is my therapy. This is my place of peace. And more cucumbers. Thought I was done. But yeah, this is my little safe haven. I get lost in reading up on the seeds, reading up on the best grow times and the best grow methods. Like, I can go for hours, to be honest. But I really enjoy this, especially just because life can be so mentally draining. Parenthood can be mentally draining. adulting, the times we're living in, it's all just very draining and ghetto right now, especially with y'all's president. But it takes my mind off of everything. I don't like to be bothered when I'm out there in the garden. I don't like to, I don't know. I don't like to work when I'm in this space. This is my refuge. This is my little sanctuary, so to speak. But yeah, I am looking forward to building pretty much a little network of friends in this gardening community. I have been having conversations with a few people and made, acquaintances with a few of y'all, which I enjoy. I could talk gardening all day. But what do you do as an outlet? What's your go-to? I always say, especially when you're working so much, and mind you, I've been working since I've been 14 years old, and I'm 30 years old now, but I always feel like having a creative outlet of some sort is very beneficial and helpful, just to navigate day to day. I don't care if it's just like sometimes every morning I try to have a little bit of quiet time and a little bit of space to myself where whether I'm just laying in the bed or I'm just journaling. But I feel like all of that is very necessary, just to keep me level, and help me really navigate and plan out my day. I feel like because my days are very different day to day, it's no amount of planning I can really do per se, but slow mornings, put it like that. Slow mornings, slow days work for me. And yeah, like I said, I journal and I read. I will also, of course, play with my babies, start new babies. I braid. I don't like to tell people that though. So I used to braid just about anybody. But one thing I've learned about myself is when I find a hobby that I really enjoy, like I used to do photography, I used to braid, loved. It's all very therapeutic. I love working out, going to the gym, all of that. And then I always loved gardening. Again, I started with flowers and indoor plants. But I noticed one thing about me. Once I find a love for something and then I get good at it, photography or braiding hair, it low-key turns into a job, because then other people would want you to, do things for them and such. But then the moment it becomes a job, I don't like it anymore. It's not as fun or as relaxing, because now you've incorporated or added other people to the mix, and then they have demands or expectations, and I don't want to do that with this. This is something that I'm not looking to turn into a business. I'm not looking to make money off of. I'm not looking to, starting out, I'm not looking to do or grow it into like a community farm, or you know how vendors would do little pop-ups at the markets and farmers markets. I'm not looking to do any of that. I want this to remain something that I truly enjoy, and that remains therapy for me. This is fun for me. I don't want anything to take this fun, take this joy that I get from this experience. So I don't know who planned on hitting me up for something. It's not happening. If anything, I'll give ooh, hello. If anything, I'll freely give stuff away, but I don't want to grow anything or help anyone start anything for money or, This is my little baby, and I want to maintain it as such. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the 2 packets in one sleeve at all. They slide out too easy. I don't know if it's just because it's the type of sleeve that it is, but I left sage out and I wanted to put it with my herbs, but I don't have another slot that I could double up with. So yeah. Oh, yes, I do. Anywho, so yeah, balancing all the businesses, balancing life. It's a job. It's a job, and this is what I do to kind of escape a little bit. Escape. I don't even want to say escape. I feel like that has a negative connotation to it, but it allows me to kind of separate myself to help me feel good. It helps me feel better. I feel calmer. I feel more peaceful. This is my little baby. I didn't think or know it would really grow into all of this, but I like it. I love it, actually. As I go through my experience this year with learning and growing, let me know what you guys would like to see from me or like to know, or for me to document. This is going to be pretty much my digital journal, like a video journal I'm using my social media for, as opposed to me physically writing it down like I have been doing in the past. So yeah, just let me know what you want more or less of. I don't have any more peppers. Oh, but this should be fun. This is new. I'm not a real talkative or in front of the camera person. Don't get used to that. But I felt it necessary to show my face this go around, introduce myself, and what you guys can expect. So here's to growing, learning together, and enjoying the process.